Welcome to meeting number 355 of Toronto Liberty Village Speakers. Thank you, Leandra, for showing up, and thank you, Pushpa, for showing up. And we get a bonus with Pushpa because her husband is there in the background, so that's good. I'm just going to the agenda here for a second. I want to make sure that I follow the flow here. Theme introduced. Okay, the theme introduced. The theme is you can improve your memory. I was mentioning earlier to Pushpa that I'm in coming up to my 20th anniversary in Toastmasters. And does it take this long to learn everything? No, no. It's whatever needs to be learned in Toastmasters can be person independent or of what they want to get out of Toastmasters. When I do a speech, I usually write it out and then I practice that speech probably anywhere from 20 to 30 times so that it gets embedded in my brain, especially certain cue words that prompt me to remember. Oh, there's the word of the day. Remember how to, or remember what to say. It seems that every time I go through my speech, review in preparation of saying it out loud to myself, I inevitably will make at least one change to my script, whether it be a correction or an addition or a deletion. The deletions happen when I think to myself, okay, does my audience really need to hear that? No. So I take it out. But it also allows time then for something to be added in that I feel may be important. But remembering the speech is necessary for me anyway. So because it helps remember remember the script of what I wanted to say when I deliver a prepared speech. It has been an issue with me all my years. I've never been great at remembering my speeches, but lately, over the past several years, I've been able to do a lot more of it than I have in the past. I was one of those people prior to the pandemic when everything was in person. Nobody had really heard of being Toastmasters meetings being online, but there were. It's just that the pandemic brought everything into the forefront. But when I started off in Toastmasters in 2006, and then it continued on through up until the pandemic, whenever I was in person, I inevitably brought notes up to the lectern to deliver a prepared speech. They varied in the sense of full written on sentences to bullet points on one sheet of paper to cue cards holding in one of my hands. I've tried a variety of them and I just haven't been able to figure out the one that works the best. However, the one that I'm more comfortable with is being at home on Zoom and being able to use cue words, if you want to call it that, um, that refresh my memory as to what it is that I want to say, because I've practiced the speech 20 to 30 times. So the memory of it keeps revolving or keeps spinning around in my brain. And that's how I get through mine. Everyone is different, though. It may depend on how you do it. And that's so. I'm going to turn over to Ken, our grammarian, for the word of the day and what his role as grammarian is. There you are.
Thank you, Bruce.
You're welcome.
It's my honor to be today's grammarian. You don't have to worry. I'm not your grade 6 grammar teacher. I'm here to help you with your use of English language. And Bruce brought up an interesting point. Conciseness is important. It's often attributed to Winston Churchill, the expression, if I had more time, I would have written less. What he's saying in that is that a good speech is not written, it's rewritten. It's actually cut down. You can always say things more concisely. And an added benefit of speaking concisely is that you have less to memorize. if you're planning to memorize your speech. If you have a clear, concise point, it's easy to remember it, it's easy to deliver it, and your audience appreciates brevity. So I'm going to be listening tonight to when people speak, and I'm going to be listening not just for what you say, but how you say it. If you ramble, I'll make a note of that. If you stray from your core message, I'll make a note of that. When you have the opportunity to do so, use the word remember for no other reason than it's a challenge to one, remember to say it, and two, for the audience to remember that that's the word of the day. Because you're not going to draw any attention to it when you say remember, but the audience is going to then wave their hands in the air because they remember that it's the word of the day. So that's the fun we're going to have. You remember to say remember, they remember to wave their hands when they hear the word remember, and also remember to be brief. And with that, I take my leave. Back to you, Bruce.
Thank you, Mr. Grammarian.
Yeah.
Ken, we don't
Sound of
have
one
an
hand
ah
clapping.
counter. We don't have an ah counter tonight, so we're not going to bother with the counting of any filler words or sounds that we hear. And for Leandra's benefit, because I know Pushpa and her husband know what the ah counter does, but for Leandra's uh, knowledge, the ah counter will normally takes notes of the sounds that come out or the words that come out of your mouth when you are, you could say, rushing through a speech rather than pausing and then continuing on with a sentence or starting a new sentence.
Ums and ahs.
The sounds of er, so is okay in the middle of a sentence, but not to start a sentence. But when it's not used correctly, which makes one sentence go keep stretching wider and longer. You don't want to use and. No, we don't know because that's why you're telling us. Right? No, I don't know if it's right because I wasn't there. Those are the two reasons why what I use to say when people say and right, and the dreaded like. It's like used correctly here, nails going down a chalkboard. But when someone uses like way too many times when that's not necessary, and that is a filler word to use. With that, our timer, according to our agenda, is Michelle, but Michelle had to back out due to a plumbing issue at her place. So I will also be the timer, and I'm going to show the green, yellow, and red at the minimum, middle, and maximum times. If that isn't alliteration, then I don't know what is. And the various times are on the agenda, so I'll pay attention to those. I will also use where is it? Oh, there we go. I will also use the raised hand. Right, there we go. The raised hand feature so that I am in the top left corner on the Zoom screen and also at the top on your wall front via or courtesy of the projector that's in the room there. The table topics master is up next. In our club, we have table topics first, then we have the prepared speaker, and then the evaluation section. So up first, we have our table topics speaker, table topics master or leader, sometimes it's called, and that is Elton. And Elton, the virtual, no, not the virtual, the in-person microphone is ready for you to take it away. And just a reminder, Elton, I will be doing a poll, the survey poll for Pushbuzz and her husband's um, notice. I know that's not the right word, but I'll put it into chat. I'll put a link into chat, and fingers crossed you have access to it. If you don't have access to it, then send me a private chat message in chat and I'll get it to you. And then Elton will accumulate the votes in person from Ken himself and Leandra, and then Elton will message me in WhatsApp, and then I will let Elton in turn know what the total votes are. Okay, that part is done. Over to you, Elton. Thank you. We're not hearing you. Is his microphone turned on with him? Oh, there we go.
Okay, so you can hear me now, right?
Yes, we can. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Let me just do this. I don't want to hold it. All right. So here we go. Today our theme of the meeting happens to be yes, you too can improve your memory. So everything that I'm going to talk about, questions, statements that I'm going to ask, is about memory, some shape, way, or form. And I'm going to pick Pushpa. She's a pro at this. She knows how this works. And I'm going to give you a question. And the question is, what's one lesson you'll never forget and who taught it to you?
Did you want to repeat it just in case?
What's one lesson you'll never forget and who taught it to you?
Mr. Table Topics Master, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. The question is, what one lesson I will never forget?
Yes.
Okay. One lesson I learned long time ago, and I will never forget the time when my husband was trying to teach me how to drive a car. And that was happened in England. What happened, I used to drive and he would keep on talking and commenting on my driving. So one day I said, I will hit that tree if you don't stop. That's how angry I used to get. But eventually I did learn how to drive, and we moved to Canada and I still drive because I was a real estate agent, so I had to drive. I had no choice. And sitting there with the guest, not the guest, the clients in my car, I was nervous sometimes because I didn't know what they would think of me. But I couldn't say anything to them, and I would say to them, don't laugh, don't talk, don't do any of that when I'm concentrating on my driving. But it was much easier to pass my driving test in Canada than in England, where I had failed many times. Mr. Table Topics Master, I remember that.
Thank you so much. And I think most people who learn how to drive, they usually don't forget it. They may be a little rusty, but within two shakes of a lamb's tail, they are back on the road, or as the song says, on the road again. I want to say, Pushpa's husband, do you want to try it? All right. Okay, so describe a time when your memory saved the day.
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and most honored guests. State a day when my memory helped me. Yes, I can recall the situation that I was supposed to attend a medical appointment on Monday, which falls at the same time as our Toastmasters meeting in the evening. I had volunteered to be the chair. So as soon as I remembered that I had made a mistake by committing to become a chair at the Toastmasters meeting, I immediately went on the easy speak and put my name in the regrets, meaning not attending the meeting, so that the on the agenda my name doesn't appear. I also mentioned to the VP of Education that I made an error, and my memory helped me that I had an appointment. I won't be coming to that meeting, and that saved the day for the club. It would have been a real embarrassment because if you don't show up as a chair has to do a lot of things before the meeting. You have to chase up the speakers, get the intros, and make sure everybody is going to be at the meeting, make changes to the agenda, and so on. So that saved my day, remembering that I had an appointment which conflicted with the Toastmasters meeting. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much. And it is so important that our memories allow us to save the day or either remember simple things like, where are my keys? It's kind of, oops, never mind. All righty, so let's see, Bruce, where is he?
I'm right here. And can I just get Pushpa's husband's first name? You're on mute.
You're muted.
Still muted.
B as in Bob, I as in Indian, H as in Harry, A as in Apple, R as in Ron, I as in Indian.
Okay.
Bihari.
Okay, perfect. Yep, I got it. Sorry, just give me a second, Elton.
Yeah, go ahead. Take your time.
Just updating the Okay, go for it. I'm ready for you, Elton.
Okay. Tell us about an object in your home that holds a special memory.
Object. So because you cut out there, so tell us about an object that I have in my home that has a special memory.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can be anything.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, okay. I just had to turn around to see if it was in this room.
No triple X.
No. Okay, I'm gonna start my time. Thank you, topics leader Elton, fellow members, and guests. Welcome. The favorite object that I wanted to mention is not based on, but it's because of my proud heritage that Ken and Elton probably know of, and that's my Scottish background, my Scottish heritage. Both my parents, my mom and dad, came over from Scotland in the year 1952, but months apart. They didn't know each other until my mom had arrived in Toronto, and within 2 or 3 weeks went to a Scottish dance on the Danforth in Toronto in the beach area, and met my dad because my dad saw her dancing, and he said in his rogue Scottish accent, "Ah, she's a lovely one," and that so. But the one thing that I have here in my office is a framed tea towel that is Amazing Grace. And it's got the lyrics on there. And there's also a photo, well, not really a photo because it's a tea towel, but an image of a Scottish piper outside of Edinburgh Castle in Scotland. The reason that this is important to me is because when my first partner passed away in 1992, I was only 29 years old, and my father, who's a barbershop chorus singer, I don't know if anyone knows about barbershop chorus singing, he sang Amazing Grace at my partner's funeral. So that holds a special place for me in my heart from that's coming up to 33 years ago this coming November that my partner passed away. And with that, it just brings back a lot of memories. And of course, of my dad who passed away. It'll be 2 years coming this September. So thank you for the topic, Elton. Thank you for the question. It brought back a lot of memories for me that I remember well. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was rather touching, if I may say so myself. May your dad rest in peace.
Thank you.
And who would like to go next? Have you ever remembered something completely wrong? And how did you find out?
I'm really glad today's topic is remembering. I thought of playing a game with my lunchtime Toastmasters club. I would break them into two parts. I would put the two parts of the group together, and I would show them a list of 10 random words. Then I would take half of the group, and I would take them to another room. They could do whatever they want, but the half of the room that I kept, I would teach them a mnemonic, which is a code for helping you remember something. Then I would bring the two groups back together again, and I would continue the Toastmaster meeting for the rest of the hour. At the end of the hour, I would ask everyone in both groups to write down what they remember those 10 words were. The group that used a mnemonic to remember those 10 words was 80% accurate, and the group that did not remembered only 20%. My failing memory requires mnemonics. When I hear a new name, I try to think of a word that rhymes with the person's name and resembles the person. So when I look at Elton, if I were meeting Elton for the first time, I would say Elton rhymes with, what does Elton rhyme with? It rhymes with Belton. In fact, if it's an unusual thing, it'll be easy to remember so that it has a unique place in your mind. I look at Elton and I remember Belton, and I can imagine him with a belt strapped across his head in place of a headband. That's a really strange image, right? Strange images are easier to remember than the mundane images that we see every day. So the next time that I see Elton, I will see this guy and I say, oh yeah, that's the guy with the belt across his head. His name rhymes with belt. What rhymes with belt? Elton, that's his name. The other way that I remember names, and I'll be finished in a minute, Bruce. The other way I remember names is not so much of a way of remembering names, it's a way of tricking people into thinking that I remember their names. So when I walk up to somebody and I say, hi, what's your name? And Elton would come up to me and say, my name's Elton. And I'll say, that's my name too. And you know what? Later at the party, whenever he walks up to me, he'll say, hi, Elton. And I'll know that his name is Elton. And everybody who comes up to me at the party later and uses my name, because it's their name, will be unintentionally telling me their name again. So I just wanted to share with you that I have struggled with remembering people's names, and I now use the first method a little more than the second method. But when I'm in a playful mood, I will use the second one. And I always enjoy it when people sit around later and say, hey, that guy, he's really nice. His name's Elton. No, his name's Bruce. No, his name's Leandra. No, his name's... And that's just how it goes. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Oh. What? Okay.
I know.
Well, all right. And now, we've saved the best for last.
Oh, it's the
This
answer
is
turn?
bathroom already.
Okay, here she goes. You've done it before.
You
It's called random. Just answering the question, really. And making eye contact with that cold glass lens as if it's your best friend. It's a challenge too. There's a lens there, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Try looking into the lens.
All right. So your question, this is to our illustrious guest. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. This is better. Have you ever forgotten someone's name at the worst possible moment? And what happened?
Forgotten somebody's name?
At the worst possible moment. And you can, by the way, you can.
No, you get to talk to the camera.
You can make it up. Yeah. So I know you are. I noticed that when you came in, how you remember Ken's name, and you want to know what mine. Oh yeah, you can talk. Okay, just
Come up to the front so we can see you better.
Okay. And then you want to hold this so that they can hear you. Okay. And then you understand.
Do you want to give me a different question or not that?
No, we're going to give you the same question, and you can do whatever you want. Okay. There's something called bridge equals where they pivot.
Okay.
Okay, so have you listened to a politician? And
yes.
They say, when you said that we're going to have $7.5 billion to build this bridge. What happened? We're still waiting for the money. And then the politician turns and they say, well, we live in a great city.
Yes, okay.
And as soon as they start, when they start with that, good and well, they're not going to answer the question. So it would be just like if I said your red Corvette, and you may say, well, you know what? I don't like red Corvettes, but I do like a red Mustang.
Okay.
See how you pivot?
Pivot. Okay, that's a good lesson, Elton. Thank you. Okay.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. I feel like that's probably a long time anyways. Okay, so can you just start? Basically. Okay. Rarely do I forget anyone's name. I think it is an important skill to show that you are listening, to make somebody feel as though you are really there to connect with them. I feel similarly about the question, how are you? So often we ask, how are you? By rote. And do we really care about the answer? I'm not entirely sure. So if I hear somebody's name, I want to be able to address them by the name again later in the conversation, to say, hi, I see you, we see each other. I feel this is part of community building. It is one of the pillars of life that is often overlooked. The more that we are living somewhat isolated and away from one another, we are paying for things like daycare, and we are paying for a lot of things that communities that were considered less civilized do as a collective. And so I think that even though we live somewhat individualistically, learning people's names and using their names and remembering their names and engaging with eye contact is one way that we can build community even in a large cosmopolitan city like Toronto. So, was that 2 minutes? Oh, yes. What'd you say? Oh, sorry.
I'm stealing your microphone.
I was gonna charge you $20. Okay, so is that everyone? We didn't miss anyone, have we?
Nope,
For
you got
table
everybody.
topics?
Yeah, we got everybody. I've already put the poll into.
Okay.
I put the poll into chat.
Okay, so it's into chat. So I guess all of you guys are going to click on the link
Yep.
and select who you think was the best table topics person. And
Correct.
then Bruce at the end of the meeting will let us know
Yes.
who that is.
And Elton, collect votes from yourself, Ken, and Leandra, and send it to me in WhatsApp, okay?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
and we have another guest.
Oh, that's where Ken went to.
We
Okay.
have another guest.
Pause.
Oh, you guys know each other? Oh. Oh, that's okay. Hey.
What's the first name for the
Here we
attendance
go.
report? What's the first name?
Say your first and last name.
ريم الغامدي.
Reem is A-R?
ريم
Reem.
RAAM. You
No.
hear me?
I hear you, but I don't think you registered, correct?
Did you register for the
Did-
meeting?
no, wait.
Yeah.
Maybe
Sorry.
for me as well.
What's the first name then?
ريم
Reem.
Sorry,
A-R.
RAAM.
No, actually, she registered on Eventbrite.
Yeah.
R-double-E.
Okay, so let's-
See her on Eventbrite.
what time did you-
Oh, Reem. Sorry, REEM.
You got it there?
They found-
Reem Zayed?
Yeah.
Zayed? Okay, perfect. I got you now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay, so are you all set now? You're good?
I am
You're
just
good?
just during the evaluation segment, message me with the vote count.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You're turning it back over to the Toastmaster then?
Yes, because I mean, we don't have any more people, so it's back
I know.
it's back to you.
Thank you, sir. And let me just bring up my agenda, my thing. Oops, sorry. No. that one.
Oh, okay, wait.
What?
We're gonna ask the guest. So our other guest, if she would like to participate in table topics, so I'm gonna quickly give her a 2-second overview. All right, so table topics. It's a way of improving your spontaneity skills. So let's say you were on the elevator and your boss came on and the doors closed. And your boss looked at you and said, you were allocated $2.5 million. Tell me what you've done with it. Now, if you can't tell him, if you start bungling, well, you know, it's like this and like that, and you're really not telling him, he's going to think, you know, either one or two things. This person doesn't know anything about what she's doing, or, you know, she's, you know, just doesn't want to talk to me. In any case, you'll be reassigned to another position. So with Toastmasters, we learn how to speak quickly on our feet so that we're able to give a concise response to anyone based on, I guess I can say a kind of like a formula. So this is how it starts. We ask you a question and then you answer it. There's no right or wrong answer. So you can say anything you want and we're all going to just go, yay!
You go over there and just have 2 minutes, and you could say whatever it is that you wanted.
Okay, so what I want to do that, actually, I'm not very good in English.
Okay, no problem. And you
No,
you don't have to. You're just offering it.
I just didn't want to, to. Oh,
Yeah, I want.
well, it's only, look.
If you want to, it's such a small group and it's welcoming enough that.
Yeah.
And I have an easy question for you.
What? She got the.
Okay, so yes, we gave you a hard one. You know, Your question, what smells or sounds instantly bring back powerful memories for you?
Can I read it?
Yes.
And Elton, just an FYI, I can't redo the poll.
That's okay.
Okay.
Actually,
Pushpa, it's in the chat now.
kinds of perfume, but I don't know how can I explain this. So there's some perfume that I use it when I go to some places. Let me feel powerful. And also sounds, maybe nature or Quran from my religion. That's it.
Okay, that's good enough.
Yeah, thank you.
That wasn't difficult now, was it? See, we got 100% participation. Much to okay. So I guess now we're going to return control to you, Bruce, and I'm going to do
the prepared speech. Yes.
okay.
Hang on, I'm just bringing up the agenda because it's
Okay, so are
yeah,
you Ken? Are you going to send him? No. Are you going to send him our votes?
yeah, he sent his vote, so I need yours and Leandra's, Elton, through WhatsApp.
Yes, that either it doesn't matter as long as he gets it and they can't see it. Okay.
Okay, so
All right, so you're my evaluator, so I guess you do the intro thing. And
yep, please do. Thank you.
yes, sir.
Okay. It's my pleasure to introduce our featured speaker tonight. Elton Brown is one of the cornerstones of this club. And he's a good friend of mine from years gone by.
Never mind.
Well, by the numbers. He comes from far to set this room up for us. We're very appreciative for that. He's also full of interesting advice and lots of interesting topics to speak about. Today, Elton is going to speak about the importance of memory and how to improve your memory. Did I get that right, Elton?
That's fine.
If he remembers what to say, this is a miracle. Over to you, Elton. Ouch, let go.
And by the way, I didn't hurt his hand. Didn't squeeze it that. I wouldn't do that. He probably punched me in the head. Oh, since said that. I've given him an idea or something. Can't even do it. Have you ever walked into a room and you get there and you wonder why are you there? How many times have you done that? I mean, I'll raise my hand. I'll be the first to say it. Yeah, I've done that. What about giving a speech, or you have to give some type of report to the people you work with or work for? And right when you get to the good part, right when you're going to deliver that point, you forget. Your mind goes blank. Now, I had that problem once. When I first started, well, not first started, but I decided I was going to go to an advanced club. See, Toastmasters has what you call regular clubs and then have advanced clubs. Advanced clubs really get into the nitty-gritty about public speaking and what you need to do to be better. And the comments and the support that you get is far greater than what you get from a regular Toastmasters club. Don't mean to scare anybody. So here I am, I'm giving my speech, and I'm thinking, oh, this is great. I'm going to get into this. I'm going to get into this advanced club. I know it. I got this. And all of a sudden, all I saw on the wall was the wall. There was nothing there, no words. It was just blank. So I stood there. And it seemed like I stood there forever waiting for something to happen. And then all of a sudden, the words came back, and I just continued. Well, I just knew that I was not going to get in. I was devastated. And a Toastmaster saw that I was not happy. And he said, came over and he said, you know, you just grew. And I went, what? He said, you just grew. It does that a lot. It'll figure itself out. So the good news is, it can be, you can train your memory just the same way that Toastmasters train, right? We learn how to give speeches. We learn how to remember. And this is the purpose of this. So there's three things I want to talk about. One is visual association, repeat with purpose, and take care of your brain. All right, so using visual association. Okay, so Ken had his visual association that he came up with, and mine is just as bizarre because I want to go to the store and I want to remember to get milk, I want to get eggs, and I want to get bananas. So I'm going to remember it by saying that I have a monkey, and the monkey is going to swim in a pool of milk until finally he gets over to the other side and gets the bread. He's going to grab a vine and he's going to swing, and as he's swinging, he's going to grab the bananas. Now, doesn't that sound bizarre? But that's how I'm going to remember it, because it is so bizarre. So it's all about using visual association sometimes to work. Now, there is something called loci, L-O-C-I. And what that means is it means that you remember based on objects. So let's say, for your example, the keys. Your keys, you make sure that you put them, say, next to on a table. When you open the door to go in your house, there's a table, you put your keys there. So now you know every time you look for your keys, they're going to be on that table. Or every time you go looking for a vase, you know where it's going to be, or some special present that you got from someone, because all of these things have a place. And because of it, you're able to remember where those things are. So it's just another way of handling memory. Okay, so now repeat with purpose. That can be easy, but yet and still difficult. Not for her. But the easy part about this is the fact that, let's say, hello, I meet someone named Jane. Hi, Jane, how are you? We have a great conversation. I decide, this person, we could be buds. This is really, chemistry is great. So then an hour later, I'm going to say, what was that person's name? And then I'll go, oh, Jane. And then I'm going to say 2-3 hours later, I'm going to ask myself again, who was that I talked to earlier today? Oh, it was Jane. And I'm going to do this every day, at least once, to make sure that in my mind, I know that I met someone named Jane who I had a very interesting conversation. So this is kind of like repeat with purpose. because you're not just trying to memorize it by saying Jane, 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 Jane. It'll never work. Okay? You'll just get a headache, and finally you'll just stop doing that. The other thing too that you can use is flashcards. Now I remember when I was in grade school, my mom had flashcards, and she, for the times table, and so she would, throw it up there one, and I had to come up with the answer like this, and she kept doing this over and over and over till finally I did wind up knowing the times table, but it was through the use of flashcards. So your memory depends now on your health. And that's what we're going to talk about now, taking care of your health. And taking care of your health means one thing: get some sleep. Okay? This thing where we're burning the candle from both ends, I mean, that works for a while, but after a while, you don't have a candle because you used it up. No good. Story. I found out that I have sleep apnea. And sleep apnea means when you go to sleep, your body loses its ability to breathe. And so for about maybe 60 seconds, I don't breathe, sometime longer. And then all of a sudden, my brain sends out a shot of adrenaline, and then I wake up. But once I got the machine, and I used the machine for the first night that I was able to use it for 8 hours without it coming off, I had a level of clarity that I couldn't remember the last time that everything was so clear and so focused, but it was because I slept. I needed the rest. My body certainly needed the rest, and I got it. And so from that point on, every night I use that so that it helps me get a good night's rest. The other thing too is move your body. Okay, for an example, Ken, he bikes. Okay, so he's making sure that blood flow is from head to toe. He's got this going on. So it's about moving. It could be as simple as walking, by the way. So in conclusion, improving your memory is not something like magic. Okay? It's not going to be poof, and all of a sudden your head's sitting back like Brainiac. No, it's not going to work like that. But it becomes better by practice. And the only way that you can do that is by getting up and using these 3 strategies in order to help you become better with your memory, because you too can improve your memory. Oh, I went over. I'm sorry. Am I done? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're done. Thank you, Elton.
Oh, they don't pay any attention. I don't know what they're doing up there. Okay, so I return control to the Toastmaster.
That's me. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Elton. Wonderful presentation. Almost impromptu. Up next we have, we'll pass the control over to the general evaluator. So hang on. I'm taking off my Toastmaster hat and putting on my general evaluator hat. Welcome. This is the evaluation segment. And I'll quickly turn it over to, actually, no, I'm going to ask for 1 minute, and I'm going to start my timing here. 1 minute for people online. Pushpa husband, if you want to send Elton any comments about his speech, you can do so directly to Toronto Liberty Village speakers in the chat if you want to do that. Okay, that's good. Switching to evaluation mode now. Oops. Ken, thank you. Ken is moving up to the front, and we will have Ken deliver the evaluation of Elton's prepared speech that just ended up finishing there. Is your microphone on, Ken?
Yes, my microphone's on.
Yep, good. We can hear you.
Figured out how to connect it.
There we go. Good stuff.
Hello, ladies, friends online, and especially Elton. This is my opportunity to give a proficient speaker some feedback. And also, maybe dissect what Elton has done so well so we could all learn from the technique that he employed to make his speech so good. So Elton, you started your speech off by engaging the audience with a poll, something that we could all identify with. How many people have forgotten things and had an embarrassing moment? Probably get more of a response if you said, how many people remember anything that they're supposed to remember? But I know the answer to that question to me was it took me 3 times to get everything I needed to take today on my bicycle, and I lost most of those things for several minutes. As a result, I was probably late. So that was a great way to start. And then you transitioned into a personal story. You went on a little bit of a side there where you talked about what an advanced club is, but then you brought it back to the story. The reason that this story was important to memory is that you started your speech, forgot what you were going to say, and then it came back. That has happened to me in the middle of a speech, and when I paused while waiting to try to remember what I was going to say, and then I eventually did remember what I was going to say and I did speak, people came up to me later and said, your pauses were so dramatic. I was on the edge of my seat waiting for the next thing you were going to say. And here I was thinking they were going to give me criticism for forgetting my speech in the middle. They don't know. They just don't know. So there's a piece of advice for you. If you do forget, just keep going. The audience doesn't know. But you didn't tell us that particular technique. You did tell us, however, that there was good news. Even though we are often forgetful, there is good news. And I love that expression in the middle of a speech because it makes the audience say, I like good news. You've got good news. I want to hear good news. And the good news was there's a 3-step process to help you remember things more. And then you gave us those 3 things. 1, you can train your memory using visual association or loci association. You can make it purposeful to remember something and repeat it frequently so you won't. And you can also use flashcards. And you can also take care of your memory by sleeping better. And if you're having trouble breathing while you sleep, have a CPAP machine and make sure that you're getting the oxygen that your brain needs so that you can remember. You use some really interesting expressions, like if you're burning the candle at both ends, very visual and really describes the way some people decide to borrow from their sleep to get more done. And then at the end, you talked about how you gave us a summary and how you can use these things to improve your memory. I would love to give you some feedback to improve this for next time. You had a good purpose statement. You gave us the 3 things you were going to tell us you were going to talk about, and then you concluded by reminding us the importance of looking after our memory. I think this speech really met your objectives, and I encourage everybody to take note of the techniques that he used today, and you'll eventually be as good a speaker as Elton. Elton, good job.
Thank you, Ken. Wonderful evaluation. And just checking. Okay, just gonna do the general meeting evaluation. Okay. Grim, come back up to the front, Elton. Ken, for the grammarians report, please. You got 1 minute.
Now it's on. Yes, so I'm back. My other role at this meeting today was the role of grammarian, listening to the way people spoke, the words that they used mostly. And I found some interesting expressions, a lot of them from Elton, but he did have the most opportunity to speak today. Elton, you described our guest as illustrious. Do you even know what that word means? No, I didn't think so, but it sounds good. You've been described as illustrious. Did you know you were illustrious? Yeah, like look it up. I'm not sure either, but I've never heard anyone described as illustrious unless it's, I mean, I'm sure it's a good thing. You also use the expression shape, way, and form. You've heard that expression, right? It's usually way, shape, or form. That's just one of these idioms that we use. Instead of shape, way, and form, it's way, shape, and form. It just sounds more natural to native English speakers. You also told us that you measure time in a very interesting way. How many times a lamb shakes its tail? Apparently something takes 2 shakes of a lamb's tail is a very quick amount of time. Is that right, Elton? That's right. Okay, good. All right. Thank you. Use of the word of the day, memories. Bruce used it, and Leandra used it, and Pushpa, I guess Ishara used it. And I would like to comment on Ishara, if I'm saying your name right. Pushpa, is that your husband's name? Ishara? I'd like to comment on his economy of words. When he was up here to speak, he spoke succinctly, to the point, no extra words, no extra descriptions, got his message out very efficiently. I really enjoyed that. I commend everybody today who spoke quickly, without any fluff, without any extra words, because the audience is listening and their mind will wander. So be succinct. Remember, the audience, you don't have to say more words, you just have to say them better. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Ken, for that succinct
Oh, you're welcome.
grammarian's report. Thank you for that. Timers report, we didn't have an all counter tonight, so the timers report, I will do that. The order of speaking was for the table topics. Pushpa came in at 1 minute 47 seconds. Her husband, Ihari, 1 minute 55 seconds. Myself, 2 minutes 9 seconds. Ken went over, that's fine. 3 minutes and 35 seconds. It's not a contest, so you're not going to be disqualified. Leandra, 1 minute and 31 seconds. For Elton's prepared speech, went over again, not disqualified, 9 minutes and 42 seconds. And Ken's evaluation, again, over 3 minutes and 45 seconds, plus his grammarian's report, 2 minutes and 2 minutes 19 seconds. There you go. Okay, up next is the general meeting evaluation. I'm starting my time. The meeting tried to start on time at 6:15, but it would kind of, with a couple of blips here and there, trying to get off the ground. We didn't start until about 6:19. The word of the day was kind of thought of at the last minute because we kind of came across the asking Ken to be grammarian. So I had thought, oh, let's just come up with the word remember. Yet ironically, in Ken's grammarian report just now, he said that the word was memory, but it was actually remember. So it's a good play on the words there. Ken should remember and have a better memory of what the word of the day is. For the prepared speech, Elton always amazes me that he can come up with these last minute speeches. We didn't have a speaker lined up this morning, and all of a sudden, the next thing I knew, he had signed up to be a speaker based on the theme of the meeting. So another well done speech there, Elton. The evaluation by Ken, top notch, always is, as is his grammarian's report. So thank you, Ken, for that. Table topics also done well, Elton. It's unfortunate that the second guest that came into the room there missed all of the table topics right at the tail end. And unfortunately, as I discovered with the poll or the survey that I was using, uh, I can't add to the poll once it has been published, and that's I wasn't able to add the name in there for that. So. But we did get a winner of that, so which I will announce shortly, actually right after this. And that. So, but it was well, considering the small amount that we had at tonight's meeting. It was still entertaining. We had a lot of fun, and it was enjoyable for myself, and hopefully for everyone that was in attendance. So, 2:15 general evaluation report done. Okay. Now, to announce the table topics winner, I know that Elton is there, but since I have the results and it was I got sent the votes, so let me just check. I think Elton had sent everything, sort of. Yeah, didn't happen, but it was a clear cut winner for the table topics. So can we have a drum roll, please? Do, 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 do. And the winner of table topics for bragging rights only. There's no prize, there's no monetary fund, there's no trophy, just for bragging rights is Leandra. I saw the reaction there. For somebody who seemed very, very, extremely nervous to get up to the front to start speaking, you did an amazing table topic. And filler words, non-existent. Filler words and sounds, non-existent. So very well done. Very well done. With that, I'm going to turn it over to back to Elton for any club business because he is our current club president. And if Elton is there, if he could come back to the front and say any club business and maybe possibly do an adjournment of the meeting afterwards. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so next week, at our next meeting, we're going to have Carrie Webster, and she's going to talk about how to be interviewed successfully to get the job you want. And it's going to be same place, same time. All of you you guys are here, and your name will be put in the mailing list. So you will get an invitation to join us. What date is that? I can't remember.
The 12th.
Huh?
August
Oh, the
12th.
12th. All right. So the 12th of August. And you guys are more than welcome to join us. I hope you do. Hopefully you won't forget.
Try to remember.
Remember. And other than that, everything is going well in terms of us going to club officer training. That just seems to be moving.
Been happening. We've already got 4 officers trained, so we'll get the half
Got the point.
Yep. Well, the half point.
But the half point.
Unofficial half point.
We can't win, I tell you. No.
Yeah. It doesn't become official until round 2 is done.
Okay, and so I think I don't have anything else. I don't know of anything else right now. Bruce?
No, that's it. Yeah, we're just looking forward to Carrie's workshop at the next meeting on the 12th.
Bruce?
Yep. Yes.
You're retired, right?
Yes. Yeah, I can't hear you.
Bruce, you're retired, right, Bruce?
Yes.
Why would a workshop on interviewing skills be of interest to you?
Because I like Carrie. Carrie's a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not looking for a job, that's for sure.
There you go. That's pretty good. No, she knows your stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, here.
Sharing one mic.
And Elton, if you just want to,
Yep. And so if there isn't any, oh, yes. And our guests,
the comments, guest
we
comments,
didn't have
yes.
comments. So we're going to start with you, the lovely lady. Now I'm going to stay away from that word now because I don't know what it means.
The tabletop explainer?
And I've been saying it for decades and not knowing what it meant. So I have to go Google that before I say it again. So would you like to come up and tell us what you thought of tonight's meeting? No, there's no prizes.
No prizes. You're not being timed, but make it short.
Okay. I have no notes in terms of criticisms. I really loved, oh, maybe the door was locked. I don't know.
Oh,
Does that
okay.
sound as a criticism?
It's always locked.
It's always locked. Yes, there you go. We need a doorbell or something. I appreciate having done many meeting organizations or, agendas and things. I love sticking to an agenda. I love clearly defined roles. I genuinely appreciate how seamlessly everything flowed together. There was purpose to everything everybody was saying, and it was well organized. I saw when Elton came to show Areem, right, is the list. I could see there were many topics on there, so it was well prepared beyond who showed up. I liked everybody's topic, and everybody seemed so welcoming and lovely and just a nice vibe. So
Nice.
10s across the board.
Tens across the board.
Yeah.
And would you like to tell us what you thought of what you thought of the meeting? Would you like to tell us? That's okay. You can stay. You can stay. We'll make an exception, and you can sit. You can do it. All you have to say is,
Okay, actually, unfortunately, I arrived here late, so no more benefits because, as you know, I arrived late. So I hope to come early in another time to understand you carefully and to get all the benefits. That's
Great.
Oh, and are you done with that page? Are you done with yours?
And Elton?
Yes.
Okay. Don't forget about Pushpa and
No,
Bahari.
Pushpa. Tell me what you thought of our meeting. Oh, and I should say the Pushpa family.
Yeah. I thought it was a great meeting. It started a little bit late, but that's okay. Although very few people, but you managed to take double roles and 3 roles and
Great.
finish the meeting very well. Yeah, 3. Very good. And I think there was a lot of energy. I learned a lot. So maybe I'll come. If I were nearer, I would have come in person, but I'm so far. So.
Oh, that's okay.
I live in St. Catharines, so I'm rarely in person there.
Oh, you live in St. Catherine. Okay.
Yeah, by Niagara Falls. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. So thank you very much for having us.
Oh, you're welcome.
You are
Thank you for
welcome.
attending.
And maybe hear from the gentleman sitting next to you.
Yeah.
It was a very informative meeting, well run, well organized, very participative, and thoroughly enjoyed the meeting. I'm glad I sat in the meeting.
Yeah, we are too.
Yeah,
Thank you
me
for
too.
that.
And in fact,
it was nice.
Do we have Pushpa's? Oh yeah, we do.
Yes, because they registered.
We're going to invite you to our next meeting and probably several thereafter. But we do want all of you guys to come back.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. We would love to
And
come.
with that, good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
Elton.
Good night.
Thank you.
Ciao.